Francis Ouimet had a tremendous impact on the game of golf in this country. The accessibility and the growth of the game, it changed immediately after that 1913 U.S. Open win. The number of golf courses, the number of people playing the game of golf. Francis himself went on to continued amateur success. I mean, that very next year, he won the U.S. Amateur. 1931, years later, he won the U.S. Amateur again. He was a tremendously successful business person locally in the financial services, as well as some of our local sports teams. And Eddie Lowry himself went on to be a tremendously successful car businessman. And there's some great history with Eddie Lowry and Francis Ouimet remaining lifelong friends. The Francis Ouimet and Eddie Lowry story, did start in that 1913 U.S. Open. Francis Ouimet himself was a 20-year-old caddy, poor immigrant family, lived across the street from the country club in Brookline. And when he took on the two biggest players in the world in 1913 at that U.S. Open, he had himself a 10-year-old caddy named Eddie Lowry on the bag. And when they went into a playoff, he stuck with Eddie. And that's the first example of the golfer and being a mentor and picking up that young person, and the young person helping that golfer. And that's what Ouimet Scholars do today, and that's the legacy that carries on. Eddie Lowry and Francis Ouimet started it. The Francis Ouimet Scholarship Fund was actually a way for Francis's friends to carry on his legacy. In 1949, they said, let's help young caddies go to college. And back then, it was strictly a caddy fund. There were 13 original Ouimet Scholars in 1949. They received a total of $4,600 back then. In terms of moving the needle for college, that was a big deal. And through 2021, we've had 6,500 Ouimet Scholars come through our program, receiving over $43 million in Ouimet scholarships. So originally it was a caddy fund, strictly for caddies. It has evolved, and now it is 2 years of service to golf. So about 55% of our scholars are caddies, and we also have workers from the pro shop, the grounds crew, bag drop, driving range, anything golf related out on the golf course, and 2 years of service at a Massachusetts golf course. So in a student's second year of service to golf, their second year working at a club, they would apply through the Ouimet website by getting recommendations from their supervisor, recommendations from the members at the course, submitting essays, and that's for a December 1st deadline. The following spring, before they're looking to become a Ouimet Scholar, they're interviewed by Ouimet alumni, Ouimet donors, friends of the fund. And it's very similar to a college application process, and that merit analysis determines who becomes a Ouimet Scholar. And following that acceptance, then it's determined who is a financial scholar and how much money they receive, because we are a need-based scholarship. It's 4 years renewable, so the students and the scholars who need it the most receive the most. The students who become Ouimet Scholars, many of them, we see them for much longer than the 4 years that they're receiving their awards. They become part of the alumni community, giving back, oftentimes when they're in a position to hire Ouimet Scholars when they're running their own business, and become future leaders of the fund. As Ouimet board members, we have many past presidents of the Ouimet Fund who were recipients back in the day. I was a Ouimet Scholar myself, so we have 2 or 3 Ouimet Scholars, it seems, every year on the staff, which is great. And the membership of the club that is supporting these kids, through hiring them, being their mentors, and ultimately financially supporting them through their efforts, they become more and more involved. They see the product that they're investing in. They want to get more involved with the Ouimet Fund operation, and they become volunteers. Ouimet chair committees. They join our board and carry on that legacy with those alumni.